Hello, hi, hey, it's your good friend J. Scott Jewell, back with another round of NetHack here. I want to do a quick shout out before I start to the NetHack wiki at nethackwiki.com, which I use extensively while I'm playing. Um, Seems like I know a lot, and I do know a lot, but a lot of what I know I look up over and over at NetHack Wiki. So I'll put a link to them in the description. But let's start here again, and I'll check the inventory to see what I have and where I am, because I was playing an alt character for a while, so I don't really remember. Got jumping boots. That's cool. Got to remember to jump around. Some potions. Ooh, ring of regeneration. That'll be very good. Sustainability is pretty okay. Prevents you from losing stats from any drain attacks or poison or anything like that. So let's continue. Just searching around, finding a door. And that is a tool of some kind. Oh, it is a lamp. So what you can do with lamps, obviously you can turn them on to light the way, but also there's two kinds of lamps. There's oil lamps, which are just oil burning and provide light, and then there are magic lamps, which can grant wishes via genies, of course. So the easy way to tell the difference between the two, if you're in a store, they have a wildly different price, so it's easy to tell that way. But if you're just balling around the dungeon, then what you can do is just turn the lamp on and keep track of what turn it is. So it's turn 1499. And after about 1,000 turns or so, a normal lamp will start to flicker and go out as the oil runs out, but a magic lamp will burn forever. So, see what we find here. Oh, looks like we got a shop, and it's a general store. I'll close the door behind me there so monsters don't wander in. The great thing about a general store is that they will buy any item from you. It also means that they will sell just kind of random nonsense, depending on what's around. I will take this scroll of identify. And there's a chest. It's locked, so I'm not going to try to open it, because anything I break I'll have to pay for. But I will take the opportunity here to find out which letter my lamp is. I will drop it on the ground. And he's only offering 25 gold pieces for it, so that does mean it's an oil lamp. So I can give it that name in my inventory. That was letter J, and that is an oil lamp, which is to be expected. It'd be pretty unusual for a... I'll take the food rations too. Pretty unusual for a magic lamp to just spawn randomly on the ground like that. So you have to pay the shopkeeper for the stuff you have in your inventory, or else he'll never move away from that door. We'll buy the scroll, buy those rations. See, and there he moves away. And there's actually a whole bunch of interesting ways to try to get around it, and kind of countermeasures the shopkeepers have to avoid those ways to get around it. Like, obviously, it's pretty easy to just bash through the walls with a pickaxe and walk out. So, as a result, if you have a pickaxe and you come to the door of a shop, they'll ask you to leave it outside. And you can kind of, to get around that, try and toss the pickaxe in alongside them, but generally they'll zip over to where it's going to land and catch it and just add it to their shop inventory. There's a whole bunch of stuff like that, but cover that when we have an opportunity to do some of it, which unfortunately won't be a while since we lost our pet last time. Yeah, and there's that message, ambient dungeon sound. You hear someone cursing shoplifters, which, again, if we didn't already know, would tell us that there's a shop on the floor. Here it says you hear the footsteps of a guard on patrol, which means that somewhere hidden on the level there is a vault, which is a tiny, hungry, it's a little 2x2 room, and it has just gold pieces in it. And there's a whole bunch of stuff associated with vaults. They're a little easier to get in and out of than stores are. You hear someone counting money, same, just a message about the vault there. Ooh, I heard a door open, so that means somewhere a monster that is capable of opening a door just did so. Here we're up against a Shrieker, which is relatively harmless. It's just a little fungus. It doesn't really have an attack of any kind, but it does shriek, which can draw the attention of other monsters on the level. And there's a pretty small percentage chance that it'll actually summon monsters. Way over there, there's a floating eye and a cat, some kind. It's just a kitten. So, looking in my inventory here to see if I have any food that I can give to it. Because if you can give it like an actual piece of meat, or there's a type of ration called a tripe ration that will, it's basically meat-based and will let carnivorous animals, like cats or dogs, you can toss it to them and they will just instantly become your pet. But I can still get around this cat if I throw non-meat food at it. That'll turn it peaceful. I'm not going to give up a whole food ration just for a pet. So, throw this apple at the cat. And it missed, which is good because I wasn't actually trying to damage it. But now if I look at it, it is peaceful. So, it won't attack me. Now, dealing with a floating eye, the deal with them is basically they have no attacks of their own, but if you hit them in melee range, they will freeze you in place with a paralysis gaze attack. And that will hold you in place for just hundreds of turns until, you know, some other completely wimpy monster wanders by and beats you up while you can't move. So I will hit him with a force bolt over and over until it dies. And sadly, it didn't leave a corpse. Eating a floating eye corpse can give you telepathy, which is a useful ability to have. There's a hole in the ground, so if I hadn't already found the downstair there, I could jump down there and fall a random number of floors. There's the next level down, but I'm coming back up to finish exploring. And zombie, just an orc zombie, so it shouldn't be too much trouble. Had a buddy. Yeah, so reached level 4, and that you feel awake message is for, I just gained sleep resistance. At level 4, elves, which I am, gain sleep resistance, so any sleep spells or traps or effects will not put me to sleep. That's very useful. Guessing this is a dingo. Is it the yellow D? Oh, no, it's a jackal. All right. Even better. Something to eat. Zap that guy before he gets over to me so I can finish eating. Oh. I can turn off that lamp now that I know it's an oil lamp. I only have, you know, a few hundred more turns of useful light out of it. It's very good to have a light source for the gnomish mines, or any levels like that where it's just big and open and dark and hard to find the stairs. Even having a little bit of a light source will help greatly. A scroll labeled Yum Yum. So we don't know what it is. Could find out with a scroll of identify, but don't really need to know what any of these are right now. Oh, I gotta remember about that ring of regeneration. That'll be very handy if I start getting low on hit points. What a ring of regeneration does is basically restores 1 hit point every turn. And also reduces your, well, it doesn't reduce, it makes you hungry at 1 point per turn. So you basically get hungry twice as fast, but heal at a crazy rate. And it looks like that's about everything we're going to find on this floor, so keep going down. Level 5, that up there, thought it might have been a bat of some kind, but it is a statue of a bat. So I'll try zapping it open. No spellbook. And this, the Q, I think is for quadruped. Yeah, it is a Roth, which is some kind of underground cave cattle. Usually they travel in large groups. Not seeing any others though, so good. And their corpses are, they give you a lot of nutrition because they're so large. There's a spell book, which I will use my Scroll of Identify on, so that, see whether or not I can read it safely. I can. So spell books, if they are cursed, which they very frequently are when you pick them up, basically they either blind you or paralyze you or teleport you away, and usually end up crumbling to dust afterward. So it's always a good idea to find out what you're dealing with before you try to read them. I want to use that spell book. Okay, so now that I've read the spell book, I know the Detect Monster spell. So that means I can cast it whenever I want and see what's waiting on the level. Like there's a killer bee, that's the letter A down there. And then over in the bottom right, there's a bunch of gnomes and hobgoblins and orcs, which looks like it's probably a throne room or a court. Special kind of room. And actually, if I use the overview of the dungeon, will it tell me about that? No. Okay. So let's keep on heading cautiously over that way. Oh, it's a giant ant. Great. They are quite fast. Put on that Ring of Regeneration preemptively in case I can't kill it quickly. Ah, great. Okay, and they are another corpse that is poisonous, so leave that alone and take the regeneration ring back off, so I don't waste any nutrition on needlessly healing myself. You do heal over time on your own. A lot slower. Big long hallway there. Some more gold. Hidden passage, leading to the downstairs. Oh, I thought it was a zombie, it was a statue. Okay. Is this a fog cloud? It is a statue of a fog cloud, which, you know, tell me how that's possible. Go back up. Here. Getting assaulted by a grid bug. Be a hilarious way to die. Ooh, an unknown wand. So there's a really, I don't know if it necessarily qualifies as fun, but it's something I like doing every time I get to. Wands give out different status messages depending on what type of wand they are when you write on the ground. So you can just write something in the dust with your fingers, and then go find what letter your wand is, and then write on the ground with that wand, and the engraving on the floor vanishes. So that tells me that it is either a wand of invisibility, it's a wand, it could be a wand of cancellation, or it could be a wand of teleportation. The easy way to find out which one it is to find a magical object that you don't care much about. Which I'm going to go for one of these scrolls. The Scroll of Light isn't super useful. And that's capital E. So I can zap that capital E wand over there. Okay, and it stayed, the object stayed where it is, so I know it's not teleportation. But it is now an unlabeled scroll. So what we know there is that the zap from the wand canceled all its magical properties. So this is a wand of cancellation. I can type. There we go. So that's very good to have, but also kind of very complicated to have. Because one of the major things we'll be looking for as we progress is a bag of holding. Oh, and just got mugged by a leprechaun. And if you have a bag of holding but put a wand of cancellation in it, what happens is the wand cancels out the bag and then the bag just kind of explodes. It's a great way to lose a very valuable item. What happened there with the leprechaun, basically leprechauns will come toward you and try to attack you if you have any gold on you at all. And if they hit you, their attack doesn't do a whole lot of damage to you, but it does steal some of your gold and instantly teleport the leprechaun to some other spot on the map. So that was him just coming back to me there for another round, but I got him with a force bolt, and I picked up all that gold he was carrying. So that ended up profitable. Just got some constitution from, I don't know what I did to exercise there. This is a throne room. Guessing. Zombie snuck up on me from behind. Like everyone in the throne room is already awake, so I'm gonna stand here in the doorway and just kind of wait for them to come to me. Kick this club back into the room. Ooh. Now I'm surrounded by a bugbear who I think came around the other side. Bugbear. That's not a great position to be in, but try to hit this guy on the left. Okay. One down, which means I can scoot back. Okay. Probably not going to survive this. I'll try doing a force bolt to the right. Possibly take out a whole bunch of these guys at once. Doesn't look like it. I can try to pray. See if I get some health back from that. So praying takes a couple of turns, but if you're in good standing with your god, then you'll get kind of protected while you're praying, which is nice. Good. He's pleased with me. Oh, good, and he healed me all the way up. So I'm going to keep zapping force bolts over to the right, just in hopes that it gives me somewhere to run to. Not looking great. Could be the end. Oh no! Well, there we go. So this is the classic message that you see. Do you want your possessions identified? Sure, why not? We'll see what we actually had. So it looks like the scrolls we had weren't crazy. Forgot about my healing potion. That would have been super smart to use. Oh, it was a magic lamp. Huh. How much do magic lamps cost? Thought they cost more than that. Looking that up. That is information to have. Yeah, and it was blessed too. I definitely could have gotten a wish out of that. Oh, okay, so oil lamps cost 10 gold. Magic lamps are 50. So if I'd had my brain turned on, that was pretty obviously a magic lamp, and I could have tried for a wish. So that's groovy. Aha, I am dead. Do I want an account of the creatures I vanquished? Sure, why not? Not a ton. Only 52 creatures vanquished. Never used the genocide spell, that's cool. I hadn't used any wishes because I was too dumb. Do I want to see the dungeon overview? Sure, we just looked at it. But, so it tells you kind of everything of note on each level. And there gives you a little tombstone. So that'll be the episode there. And I guess we'll try rolling again with probably another wizard next time. I'll see you then.